Well, hello and a very warm welcome to Business Today TV. I am Chetan Bhutani. Today, I am joined by a very special guest, Mr. Manish Raj Singhania, President of FADA, on something that has been really making the news at this time around. That is a model dealer agreement, and of course, the conclaves that have been going on for the auto sector as well. But first, before I go to that, well, thank you, Mr. Singhania, for joining us on Business Today TV. First question to you: why do you feel that there's a disbalanced nature of contracts being forced upon by auto companies on dealers? Why do you think, and what do you think is going wrong?
So, hello Chetan. Yesterday we launched our model dealer agreement. We had this session yesterday by the hands of our SIAM Vice President Mr. Vinod Agrawal and ACMA President Mr. Sanjay Kapoor. If you recollect, in the past 5 years, lot of OEMs exited India, and while exiting India, a lot of dealers were closed down, and we had got out a report wherein around 250 dealers had closed shops because of various OEMs exiting India. I would like to say here, while any manufacturer plans to start up a factory or a setup in India, a lot of research and hard work and planning goes into, and normally it involves 3 to 5 years of time. But at the same time, while they plan their exit to India, it's never a planned exit. One fine day, we hear in the newspaper or in the media that X OEM has decided to exit India with its range of products. We have seen number of instance where 2 months before their exit announcement, they have announced a new dealership, and the dealer is in the progress of building the showroom, investing his hard-earned money in the new business venture, and then he or she hears about this exit announcement. Such kind of instances prompted a lot of complaints from our dealer community friends, members, prompted us to, and while they exit, dealers are short-handed. We don't get adequate compensations for our hard-earned money. A lot of liabilities are with the bank, and the relationship starts with the customer while selling a vehicle, and it has to sustain for another 5 to 7 years. So that relationship is maintained by the dealers, not the OEMs. So to sustain all this thing, a lot of complaints were given by our members to the association. And in dealer agreements, it is always a one-sided affair. We have to just sign on the dotted line. We cannot even change a comma in the dealer agreements. If we want that dealership, you better sign it. Otherwise, you don't get the dealership. It's the way it is. So we dealers feel the agreement that is there with the OEMs that we sign on, it's totally biased, and it is a one-sided kind of agreement. So in consultation with strong legal firms, we have developed this model dealer agreement, which is a balance between auto dealers and the OEM side. Just that FADA has developed this agreement doesn't say it is biased towards dealers. We have tried to get a balance of the understanding or a contract that is signed between the auto dealers and the OEMs. So in times of crisis, whether a dealer exit, or whenever the OEM exit, no one is shortchanged. Kind of systematic exit can be done, and both the sides can be adequately protected. So that was the basic motto of developing this model dealer agreement.
So tell us about this model dealer agreement prepared by like good legal experts that you've hired, of course. What does it really change for the automaker as a whole, and how does it protect you?
So right now we have just launched, and obviously we have to get in talks with various manufacturers and SIAM to get it implemented across various brands and OEMs. As I said earlier, we are just creating a level playing field for the OEM as well as dealers, so that nobody suffers in any time of crisis or exit. And a lot of various features are there in the agreement where dealer feels like his entrepreneur skills are not used in, and we have to just comply to whatever the OEMs are saying. We are basically entrepreneurs. We need to take a call on how to manage our business. That has been kind of subdued in present agreements. We need to explore, and OEMs need to understand ways and appreciate ways by certain dealer can expand his or her business.
Right. Okay. What has been what has been the initial reaction from Siam? Have they agreed, or are they still in discussion? Is there a matter of debate between you two? So, what is the update there?
Just launched yesterday, and as you know, today is ACMA annual conference, and tomorrow is SIAM's annual conference. So everybody is kind of busy. So we need to, all these things will mature after the conferences and all people are free. So right now it is just on the table, and we have whoever OEMs were present during the our annual conference, our meet, we have given them a hard copy, and we'll be sharing a soft copy to all OEMs today. And we need to start dialogue with them post all these conferences.
But don't you think that you should also involve the government in it, and the respected ministries like Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Heavy Industries, or probably Niti Aayog if needed? But because government intervention is equally important. So, is there a plan for that as well?
Yeah. So that's a very good question. Actually, to push this model dealer agreement, we started with the concept for Auto Retail Protection Act, where we don't have franchisee laws or Retail Protection Act in India. Whereas in international scenario, if you look at US and UK, Europe and Australia, there's a Retail Protection Act, Franchisee Protection Act is there. In fact, some countries have specific Auto Dealer Protection Act because auto dealership is a large body, and it contributes heavily towards the GDP of the nation, and good revenues in terms of taxation, GST taxation as well as road tax. So we have studied and collaborated with various international agreements across various countries, and same manufacturer, say a multinational film manufacturer follows a different law in US and Europe or Australia, and has a different law for same brand having a different law with its dealer partners in India. Just because we don't have a kind of Retail Protection Act here. So here dealers get the shorthand of the contract, and we are only governed by the Indian Contract Act. We have approached a number of ministers and body, and in fact we have met more than 50 members of parliament to represent Auto Dealer Protection Act and implementation of model dealer agreement. It's a new concept in India, and we will be continuously having dialogues with various ministries, concerned ministries, to get this implemented, because it's the primary concern for auto dealers in India.
Right. My last question to you, sir. Do you really think that automakers would agree? Because it somehow, I'm not supporting the automakers or taking any sides, but initially my thinking is that automakers are very stringent when it comes to issuing dealerships. I agree that you have to invest a lot of your money to get a dealership, but automakers are equally very stringent on the other hand. So, do you see any legal battles, any arbitration issues, any troubles going forward with this agreement? Do you think this will lead to probably a fight between dealers and automakers?
So, I also I'm very convinced about your questions. See, these are evolving times. Times are changing, and a lot of new automakers or new manufacturers are also entering the market. And a traditional set of mindset is also changing. We can see a lot of young CEOs and young people heading the automobile organizations.
Right.
FADA only will not do anything forcibly. FADA firmly believes in dialogue, and we'll have regular dialogues with OEMs and SIAM as an association on an association to association basis. We'll try to convince them on points of merit and get it implemented, because do understand, we as I told you earlier, it's not a biased agreement towards auto dealers. It is a level playing field. Both sides have been taken care of, so that no one gets short-handed in any type of crisis circumstances. So it's a very kind of balanced agreement, and If we are still to get the feedback from automakers, but we are definite we'll get a positive feedback before launching this. We have also vetted this agreement from some our senior retired uh, 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 auto people who have already exited the companies OEMs. So we have also got it vetted from them so that we just don't put up the dealership side, and auto companies' sides are also properly taken care of.
And Mr. Singhania, wishing you all the best and really hope that this model dealer agreement and of course auto dealership laws come into effect very soon, thereby giving you protection. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.